Hey everybody, this is Nick Bates here, and I got a tip for you on certificate generation. So today we're going to be talking about revisions and document sign-off comments whenever you refuse a certificate. So if we go into Profile Manager and go into our cert settings, we're going to first go into Management and then into Numbering and Certificate Settings. And so we have this checkbox here now called Certificates Rev Control. What that does is it's going to take the next cert number in this field here, and instead of generating a new cert number each time you incomplete a cert and make a change, it's going to add, in parentheses, a revision. So let's go ahead and demonstrate that really fast. So we hit OK, close out of here. Anytime you make a change like that, it's always great to just go ahead and reload all settings to ensure that that is actually enabled. And then when we hit our equipment view, I'm just going to run through a calibration event. So we hit next, 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 all the way through. And as you can see down here, it generated a cert number, and then in parentheses, it says Rev1. So if I then come in here and incomplete this calibration event, and then make some changes to it and whatnot, and go back through this event and hit finish, notice how it maintained the cert number and now says Rev2. So that'll happen all the way through, as many revisions as it takes. And so you guys can do that and maintain 17025 compatible. And then what we can also do is if you do not wish to see these archived revisions, we can go up here into our edit user location settings, and we can actually hide those revisions there, but maintaining how many revisions were done to the certificate, right? Next, if we go into our workflow configuration settings, right, what we're going to talk about is how to set up document sign-offs, which many of you, I'm sure, know how to do already. Let me just kind of adjust this page for us here. And so if we go into our step 8, report rules, and then into document sign-offs, make sure that you're in the calibration event. We're going to add a new sign-off, and I'm just going to call this like system admin sign-off, something like that. Type in here always. And then you can create a sign-off filter for whatever you would like, but I'm going to make it to where only system administrators can sign off. And then we hit OK. And then we say save, hit finish, and then we want to reload all settings. Now, if we go into equipment view, and let's just delete this revision that we were doing earlier. And let's say that C-1 is currently checked in, I believe. So we're going to check it in. And then what we're going to do is calibrate it. Okay. So we launch a calibration, run through it. And after doing that, what it's going to do is generate a document sign-off. So in pending work, under document sign-offs, there's a document sign-off. However, we are going to pretend that an administrator hasn't gotten around to signing off on that document. So maybe they move it through the process. Maybe it gets checked out or something like that. So we're going to move this tracking status into a checked out state. And if you are a commercial cal lab, maybe it was calibrated and then put into a waiting shipment or a waiting invoice or something like that. So what happens is whatever the tracking status it was in when the event was completed, it's going to revert back to that tracking status upon being rejected. So let's say we look at this calibration event and I launch this cert and I say, oh, you don't have any test points, the unit of measure is empty, whatever the case may be. If I go into pending work and go to sign this off, of course, it'll bring up my document signature panel here, right? And so you take a look at the cert, make sure that everything's looking good, and then if it is not, you can say failed, throw in your password, and say, you know, tech needs to advise U of M, whatever the case may be, and then you say okay. And then it says, this document failed evaluation. The related event has been marked as incomplete. The related assets have been restored from an archive created at the time of event completion. So whatever archive of that piece of equipment was completed at that time, it's going to be restored to that. And the tracking status and all related equipment details will be moved back to the previous state. So if we go back to the equipment view, notice how this C-1 is now back in checked in, and it is not in checked out like I moved it to. All right, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.